guess who's going to... I'm just about to finish packing up for 7 days in India, going to see how sustainable clothes are made in ethical factories using organic cotton. I am so excited. This is such an incredible work opportunity, and I'm going to try and take you along for as much of it as I can. So let's go. So, India, 23 hours of travelling, 5.5 hour time difference, and 2 flights. And I've never been on a long haul flight before, so let's go.
Today, we will be boarding by group number, which can be found on your boarding pass.
जब तक आपकी ग्रुप संख्या बुलाई न जाए।
Looking around here, you would not imagine that this place is home to a factory. It's kind of crazy, but that is the truth. At this factory, there's a real coming together of nature, of treating people well, of treating the planet well, of sustainability, of looking after things. There are cows on site, there are mango trees. Let's show you around. These factories for spinning and knitting organic cotton are some of the biggest and most advanced in the world. They use the latest machinery powered by renewable energy to turn the cotton into spools of yarn, which is then knitted into fabric. This manufacturer works almost exclusively with certified organic cotton, as it's much less water and carbon intensive to grow, relying on monsoon season, and avoids using harmful pesticides on the crops, leading to much healthier biodiversity on the farms. Sadly, the majority of today's textiles, like polyester or acrylic, are made from fossil fuels, and only about 20 to 30% of them are natural, biodegradable materials like cotton or wool. The cotton goes through multiple quality tests, including this cool UV room, and is then sent to the dyeing plant where it gets its colour. The dyes here are Oeko-Tex Standard 100 certified, which means that they are free from harmful levels of over 100 substances known to be dangerous to human health. Another awesome thing about the dyeing facility is that almost 100% of the water used in the dyeing process goes straight back into the factory after being filtered and cleaned. It comes out like this and ends up looking like this. Clear distilled water. That's a massive feat of engineering when compared to the fact that many dye houses simply put their wastewater into our seas and our oceans, which is what leads to luminous rivers of chemicals that are killing off entire ecosystems. Here instead, the dye stuff and salt is extracted, and the stuff that can't be recycled goes back to be made into cement. It's a closed loop system. Side note, have you ever drunk straight out of a coconut before? I think I had about 6 whilst on this trip, and it was heavenly. Back to the hotel to cool down a bit now, I think. In this beautiful setting, the fabric that we saw being made yesterday is cut and sewn into the final garments and packaged up to be sent to brands. This is called CMT, or cut, make, trim. Before we left, I even got a chance to meet the cows that are kept and milked on site, as cows are sacred in the Hindu religion, and I was shown around the mango and jackfruit trees by my main man Sankar. Sankar also showed me the women's dorms, the temple, and the canteen that are all on the same campus to cater to the needs of the workers. You would not find a factory in the UK where you have the combination of solar panels, cows, and then a women's hostel on site. It was beautiful to see how religion and social responsibility can work so harmoniously together with the most advanced technology in the world and modern climate solutions. This trip was an incredibly privileged look behind the scenes at everything that goes into making just a single t-shirt. I started to realize that the fact is most people will never be able to see or understand the full scale of everything that goes into making something basic as a t-shirt. One of the things that really struck me while having a look at all the different parts of the process is that while I'm looking at all of this and being able to see the people that are making the clothes, the processes, the automation, the robotics, everything that goes into it, the hundreds of different processes involved and the thousands of people that are involved, at the same time, most of the fashion industry is incredibly opaque. There is no transparency, no traceability, and that is something that is, I guess, in the favor of brands that want to do dodgy things. It's this sort of cycle that just continues and continues, where people are treated badly, the planet is treated badly, and nobody wins. Customers just get to buy things for a fiver, and brands get to greenwash and continue hiding the things in their supply chains. But when you actually show all of this, then you have much more of a responsibility. In this globalized environment that we have now, where supply chains will span across multiple different countries, it's a brand or a company's responsibility to know where those things are being made and to understand how the people are treated and what processes happen at each step of that, from the field to the factory to through to the shop floor or through to the websites where people buy these products. But it's also the consumer's responsibility to care about this information. I mean, I can't force you to care about something you don't care about, but I mean, look at all these people. These are real people. Like, this is their lives. They are making your clothes. If the brands aren't showing you, why aren't they showing you? And support the brands that are, basically. Even if that information was freely made available by brands, and it's clearly not, since the average rating of brands in the latest Fashion Transparency Index by Fashion Revolution was just 26%, but even if it was, that's a lot of work for the consumer. And that's just one t-shirt, right? Wouldn't it be so much easier if we could just trust that the companies themselves who are selling things to us know what's going on and are making sure that everything is legit? But here's the catch. Fast fashion brands are relying on the fact that their globalized supply chains make it harder for us as consumers to firstly know what's going on in them, but then also to identify with the people that are making our clothes. Just like the impact of climate change can seem really far off in the distance in the future for us in the global north, even though places like Jamaica are already seeing the very real devastating consequences of it. Brands use our own psychology, which favors the here and now rather than the far removed, against us, to make it easier for us to avoid questioning the morality of these supply chains, ultimately just putting more money into their pockets. We remain willfully, happily ignorant, and they are very content to continue facilitating that ignorance. There's a lot more to unpack, so in part 2 of this video, I'm going to be diving a lot deeper into how fast fashion hacks your brain. So if you want to see that, then subscribe so you don't miss it, and if it's already out by the time that you're watching this, then I will link it here so you can watch that next. Stay kind, bye!